Getting ready to go. What? Getting ready to go. I said, getting ready to go. What in the world are you talking about? Well, hey YouTube. I want to share a little anecdote with you because I thought it was about time to bring something a bit more lighthearted on this channel, considering recent videos. This morning I was a bit late for work because I was confronted at my front door as I was getting ready to leave by two Jehovah's Witnesses. And I do like talking to the JWs when they come to my house because I find it entertaining. And I find it entertaining because I kind of taunt them a little bit. I don't mean like in a cruel way. I certainly don't tease them, obviously, but I am teasing them a little bit. Let me tell you what I mean. My attitude is, when someone calls me on the phone, telemarketing, or comes to my door trying to sell me something I never asked for, my attitude is, if you think you're entitled to waste my time, well then fine. I must be entitled to waste yours. And even though this morning I didn't really have the time to waste, I wanted to, so I did. And anyway, yeah, the first lady says, and they all say the same thing when they come to your door. They say, "We just come to talk to you today about some of the great problems facing the world right now." And so I say, "Okay, go ahead. What's on your mind?" And the second lady says, "Well, when you look around the world and you watch the news, it seems there's nothing but one bad news story after another bad news story." And she goes, "There's problems with the environment, and there's wars in different parts of the world, and things just seem to be getting so much worse all the time." And I said, "Yeah, there are a lot of serious problems facing the world." And then she says, "And don't you think it's just going to keep getting worse and worse?" Now, I strongly recommend if you ever have JWs come to your door that you try what I do, because this is what I said to her. I said, "Oh no, I think things are definitely going to get better." And both of them took half a step backwards like I was swinging a bat or something. They obviously have never heard that kind of a response before. And so the first lady says to me, she goes, "Oh, really?" She goes, "That's a really nice attitude. You sound very optimistic. Do you just think God's going to take care of everything, do you?" And I said, "Oh, no, I don't think that. Um, I don't think that God's going to fix the problems in the world." I said, "It's people who have, made the mess of the world, and it's people who have to fix it." And anyway, they started talking about this, that, and the other, and they kept bringing the word God into the conversation. And so I stopped there and I said, "Listen, I should just tell you straight, I don't really believe in God." And again, they took half a step back, and the first lady says to me, "Well, why is that?" And I said, "Well, I don't see any evidence for God." And she goes, "Oh, so what? When you look around creation, you just don't see any evidence?" And I said, "Well, the word creation presumes there's a God, doesn't it? But I don't see creation. I see nature." And she goes, "Oh, well, so when you look at nature, you don't see any evidence of God." I said, "That's right." I said, "There's a natural explanation for everything." And the second lady says, "Oh, so you must believe in evolution then?" And I said, "Well, no, I don't believe in evolution." I said, "I accept evolution." I said, "There's actually more evidence for the theory of evolution than there is evidence for the theory of gravity." And then I took my keys out of my pocket and dropped them on the ground. And I said, "See, look, gravity," like that. After which I began to sort of excuse myself because I was running late for work and stuff. But they gave me a flyer, which, like a dummy, I didn't think about making this video at the time. So I left the flyer on my bookcase at home. But basically, this flyer's got a depiction of Jesus on it. Okay, which is fine, and it's, the flyer's notifying me about some meeting coming up at Kingdom Hall that they're inviting me to. Fine, fine. But the picture of Jesus, right? I mean, this depiction, he's buff, man. And I've noticed an awful lot of depictions of Jesus in the past few years where Jesus is really, really muscular. And in this particular depiction, I mean, he's got like whip marks from being whipped, and he's got his crown of thorns on, and he sort of stood there, looking down like that with his arms crossed, in a sort of contemplative pose, apparently not bothered by the fact that there's blood dripping down him. But I'm just amused at all these sort of ripped, muscular, buffed Jesuses I keep seeing in the past few years. Last year I mentioned this to a Christian on YouTube, a nice Christian. And that person said to me, "Oh, well, Jesus was a carpenter, so it makes sense that he's muscular." Well, if you're a carpenter and you're working hard doing manual labor with your hands and swinging a heavy hammer, I will grant you that you'll get really nice neck muscles, really nice shoulder and upper arm muscles. But you're not going to look like you've been working out for 3 hours a day for the past 3 years, which is what this depiction looked like. I'm talking about ripped, all right? The kind of muscular that you can't get without making a dedicated effort to make yourself muscular. Now, from a symbolic point of view, I kind of understand that point. I mean, they want to think of Jesus as someone strong who can, carry the burden of their sins and all that kind of crap. Where it's just interesting to me because, like I say, you don't get the kind of buff that this guy was unless you work out. But more to the point, I mean, in the ye olde days, when you look at, old classical paintings of Jesus, he's almost always depicted as really sort of scrawny and meek. And I think that was deliberate at the time because, Jesus was supposed to be a more accessible figure, someone that people could relate to, someone who we should feel sorry for because he suffered for us. Not someone who's going to take on Satan like Team America. I'm sorry, but it just fucking cracks me up. Of course you can depict Jesus with muscles if you want to. It doesn't offend me, and I'm not going to threaten your life for depicting Jesus in the wrong way. And on that note, I suppose I'm going to wrap this video up. I just found it amusing. This has Got That Funk. Thanks for watching. Have a great day, and may all your ups and downs be ups.